Hey everybody, this is John Dollar. I'm making today Biscotti Falcona Marittima from Daniel Azan's grandmother. This is a recipe that she would make every year during the holidays. I hope you guys enjoy it. All the ingredients to make the biscotti. We have some raisins that were marinated in Cointreau. We have some egg yolks, 5 egg yolks, some vanilla, some sugar, some toasted almonds, some egg whites, more sugar, and flour. And we are making biscotti to go in that biscotti jar. So what I've done is I've beat the egg yolks with the sugar till they're pale and thick. And at this point I'm going to add in the vanilla, which is here, and I'm going to add in the leftover liquor from the Cointreau, which is not too much. So the raisins took a lot of that liquid. I'm going to add the raisins to the almonds because later on they get folded into the recipe at the same time. And then we're just going to mix this together as well. Before I do that, I always like to give a little mix on the bottom to make sure that everything is going to be incorporated. So we're going to just add this as well, and we're going to mix this. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to whip up our egg whites with a 1/4 cup of sugar. So I put the egg whites in the machine, I turn the machine on, and I start whipping them. And then we're going to slowly add the sugar. And we want to whip till we get some nice stiff peaks. And that's going to take a few minutes. So we'll come back as soon as they're getting ready. So the whites are getting nice and thick right now, so we're gonna turn this off. And we're gonna add 1/4 of the whites to the yolk mixture, which I have here, and we're just gonna fold that in. So I'm going to take some of that and fold it in to lighten up the yolks. All right, that looks pretty good. And we're going to add the rest of the whites to the mixture. Again, carefully folding them so we keep the volume of the whites in with the yolks. So we'll carefully fold that nice and easily, lifting and turning the spatula. Okay. Once we have that in, we're going to take the raisins and the almonds, and we're going to fold that in as well. That's all of our good stuff. I use slivered almonds, but the recipe calls for whole almonds, which you toast and then chop. But the slivers just, I figured, would save me a little bit of time. Now once we have that, we're going to take our flour, and in this flour mixture we have the baking soda and salt, which I whisk together. And now we're going to start to incorporate that into this as well. And we're going to do that in 4 batches. So I have the baking soda and salt, which I whisk together. And now we're going to start to incorporate that into this as well. And we're going to do that in 4 batches. So we'll do a little bit to start. And this is where our dough is going to start to come together because of the flour. It's starting to get heavy, and I just put only a little bit in. So we'll continue to add. So what we're going to do with this biscotti is, if you're not aware, biscotti is twice baked. So we make a loaf out of the dough, and then we bake that, and then we take it out, we cool it down, and then we cut them, and then we bake them again. So it's getting pretty good to be a dough. So I'm going to keep mixing. Might have to get my hands in there a little bit. It's getting kind of heavy. It smells really good. All right, so now I'm getting the dough to about the consistency that it's going to get to, and I can't really mix it much more with the spatula, so I'm just going to put my hands in there to mix it or knead it to get all the flour mixture incorporated. I'm going to keep mixing till the bowl is clean and all the flour has been absorbed, which this looks pretty good to me. Just stop for a second. Okay, so now the dough is nice, has a nice texture to it. So I floured my table, and I'm going to flour my hands so the dough doesn't stick. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the dough out, and we're going to knead it a little bit on the floured surface, and then we're just going to cut it into quarters. Okay. Let me go grab a knife real quick. The biscottis have been in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. I just wanted to get a nice color on the top of them. Now we're going to let them cool for a little bit, and then we're going to cut them into the biscotti shape and rebake them. So we're going to let them cool for a little while, and then we'll come back. Okay, so right now we have the biscottis. They've been cooked the first time, and now I'm going to cut them into 3/4 inch slices on the diagonal. And then we're going to put them on our sheet pans. And then we're going to bake them again 7 minutes per side till they get toasted on either side. And then they'll be ready to go. It's good to use a serrated knife. It helps to cut them nice and clean. Let the knife do the work. Don't try to push it. When you get to the end, just be careful for your fingers. We're going to take the ends, and I'll give them to my son. He liked them before, and he'll like them again. So then we put them back in the oven, and we're just going to toast them up. Biscotti is all nicely browned, and we've taken them out of the oven.